and welcome to Rainy Tuesdays. I am Ryan, and I'm here with Margot
Hi.
and Adam.
Hello.
I love in these intros. I just off the cuff. I don't know what I'm
Oh
doing.
no, it's just different every time.
Yeah, it brings a certain charm that our listeners are here for.
You never know what to expect. No cohesion.
No. I did like the thought last week where it's just Star Wars quotes. I think you said like do it or not. There is no try. It's
Yeah.
Rainy Tuesday. It's like that's a new one. You
Yeah.
could do it. Yeah. How you guys doing? How's it going? How's life?
Good.
Yeah.
OBS was causing us some problems, but
Yeah, we had a little technical
Yeah.
difficulties. Um,
So if this podcast never gets released because mine messed up,
if
bonus
you're hearing
episode.
this, yeah, it's a secret.
has there been an episode that's been so technologically bad that it was unreleasable?
Not unreleasable, but made me like rip out my hair editing. Yes, not literally, but close. Like it
What
was.
was the episode?
I know our Discord days were kind of bad.
Yeah.
Discord days were tough. But then, uh, I think it's our second Shark Tank episode.
Oh.
Yes.
When we had our lovely guest Esther, whom we adore, but her Wi-Fi was awful, and so it was just very difficult to edit around.
Yep.
Well, we got there. In that,
We
Probably don't-
survived.
I don't know,
Hopefully there
was
are still some jokes in there.
There were jokes. The timing, not wonderful, but the jokes were there.
I think the timing of like some of our first few like COVID episodes are really
Oh,
feel like,
Yeah.
what do you
well,
think
those were
about
the
that?
Discord days.
That's
It was
great.
yeah.
Yeah, for
Discord's
whatever
gotten
reason,
a
Discord
lot better,
does not
though.
work.
Mhm.
It's gotten so much better now.
Yeah.
I think it was tough early 2020, but it's really come together.
Yeah.
My best guess is that a lot of people were using Discord around that time, and it
Yeah,
was just
probably.
not ready for that yet. Because I like to imagine that Discord just was a little tired. The program itself needed a little sleep,
Need a little break.
just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there was definitely stuff that I was gonna like talk about, and it's not coming to my mind right now. So
Well, I have something to talk about.
let's do it.
Some entertainment news. You guys might have heard Netflix has decided it's quitting and doesn't want any subscribers anymore.
Yeah,
Because they
kind of
released
crazy.
the most
I read that
insane
announcement.
defense against password sharing I've ever seen,
Mhm.
which is to require devices to log into your home Wi-Fi every 30 days or every month,
Yeah.
which, I'm away at college, so that would mean I
Yeah.
can't use Netflix. And I
So
anticipate many, many families experience this, and there's traveling, and maybe you are like, I don't know, any family that doesn't necessarily have one location that they're with. Not a crazy circumstance for people to live in.
So to be clear, right now, that's not true in the US. It's presumed to be true eventually by March.
Yes,
But
they have not done this
Yeah.
yet. It's not
Mhm.
in effect, but
It's in effect
there.
in some other places,
Oh, it
like
is.
that they're testing it in.
Mm.
But for the US, that hasn't been true yet. They also pitched the idea of like a verification sort of system for like presumably that college age type of vibe, where you'd have to like get a verification code essentially to log into it, from I guess the home base, probably parent that is like paying for it.
Mhm.
But none of that's true yet because Netflix is like, oopsies, we put the wrong help page up, because they put the help page up that made that announcement because it was like a
Yeah.
leak kind of thing, that they like put that help page up, which was supposed to be for other countries, They put it up in the US. Everyone was like, "Oh my god!" And then they were like, "Just kidding, guys, not yet,
So
but soon."
I have a conspiracy theory.
Let's hear it.
And that conspiracy theory can either be Netflix friendly or against Netflix, depending on your perspective.
Fascinating.
But my conspiracy theory is that they intentionally leaked this completely buck wild thing that they've announced because it'll get a bunch of backlash and they'll lose money. And, well, maybe. And then they can reveal their actual policy, which
That'll
would
be like
have
that.
received backlash, except for the fact that they announced a worse one previously. And the reasons I say this is because Dungeons and Dragons had a kerfuffle where they're like, this is our idea, and everyone hated it, and then they completely backed out on that. And I don't know if they're put something else in charge, but it doesn't matter. It's the same sense of like, we know people are not going to be excited, like not going to be happy with us. So let's do something worse so that they'll be not as angry. And the reason this can be either pro Netflix or anti Netflix is because Netflix is very much trying to appease its shareholders of like, look, there's all this money that we could be making. We had kind of a rough couple bits here that made shareholders freak out. So don't worry. There's this untapped market and we're going to solve it. And so they have to come up with some way. And then, but when it inevitably fails, they can be like, hey, shareholders, sorry, that didn't work. We're going back to drawing board. That's somewhat less likely. I think the anti-Netflix, this is we know people are going to be angry at whatever we do, so we're going to put out a worse one. Of course, the third option is just this is genuinely what they want to do, and they don't want to be a big streaming service anymore, I guess.
I think
they're like, we're kind of bored of this.
It's so poorly planned out too, is a big part of it, because like you mentioned, like college students. Another big one is like people that travel all the time, like people that don't really have a house, like truck drivers, or like where it's just they spend tons of time on the road, or just traveling to different places. Like they're gonna lose out on Netflix because they're always moving around.
That's a great point. I think it's just dumb. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's just
dumb.
I have no other
which supports my conspiracy theory idea because it's like, how can a company who conceivably can do market research not understand that this is a bad decision and you will lose subscribers over this? Like, people are not going to go like, oh, well, I guess I'll buy my own like $17 Netflix account because it's, I don't know how much money it is. It might not be 17, but it is a lot.
I know that
like they'll just not get Netflix anymore.
I wonder if they did run the cost analysis and saw like the people that were going to leave, like, yes, that's a big number, but the people that are going to create new accounts because of this will be a bigger number, at least what they think.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, I was like, because after I take the bar exam and conceivably get a job, I'll get my own place. And I was talking to my girlfriend of like, well, maybe we'll just get our own Netflix at that point. So, I mean, hey, I guess I'm one of the people that might get a new account. Because usually I'm a pretty big Netflix defender. I think they get a bad rap sometimes. That's not as deserved, but this is deserved. This is stupid.
I'm interested to see how it'll all shake out. I'm also shocked, we've said it before on this show, but also like just in our personal lives, that we all thought it was going to be like a TV channel sort of situation, but with streaming services. And like you see that a little, I guess, with like the Disney, ESPN, and Hulu thing, but that's the only one that I know of personally, like the only bundle thing.
It doesn't seem like they're moving towards what everyone predicted of like just buy this bundle. I mean, I don't know. There are some like we just got new phones from Verizon, and through the Verizon, and for some reason we just had to get unlimited data. I don't think we need it, but whatever. I think it was just however we could get a good deal on getting new phones. So fine, Verizon, whatever. But as part of unlimited data, you get because I think they're scamming us. I think they're like, oh, it's going to be the same price, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the same price. I think Verizon overcharges you, but whatever. Through the unlimited plan, you get free access to most of, I think 3 of the big streaming services, so Netflix, Disney Plus, and maybe Hulu.
Okay.
So there are some that have
That
a range of things, but I haven't
yeah,
heard like what's big cable provider? Xfinity, like Xfinity being like, do
Yeah.
they
yeah,
get cable still?
yeah,
Like yeah, here's a bunch of things because I know
Mm-hmm.
some of our streaming services accounts are through that. Like my mom
Yeah.
has, it's like through the Wi-Fi or through
right.
whatever, and they are paid for, but not in such a big number that you'd get a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also thought like the streaming services themselves would offer something like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Some of them do. So it's like paying for like traditional cable is still really expensive. So like
Right.
we used to have Xfinity, but now we have like YouTube TV,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which is the best out there for the price, but also like
absolutely.
the worst
Sure.
because they suck at making deals. My parents got it so they could watch baseball, and now they can't watch baseball.
No. Oh, that's sad.
But it's good for like everything else because
Sure.
YouTube TV will like carry local news, which is a big
Yeah,
thing, and a
Yeah.
lot of people care about that.
right.
But I just remember seeing a Twitter post that's like, oh, like now streaming is like more expensive than cable. But I feel like that's a little disingenuous because it really is like a pick and choose that you can't
Yeah.
really
That's
do with
true. Like if
cable.
you
Like,
want all of them, it's more
yeah,
expensive.
But you
cable
probably
has
aren't
like
going to use all of them.
packages.
No.
Yeah, and
Like
like with their example, they were like they had like Discovery Plus on there, and it's like I don't know a single person that uses Discovery Plus.
I don't even know what's on Discovery Plus. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I could
Documentaries
think
of nature.
like
Oh,
Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, HBO Max is probably all of them.
Paramount briefly for Community, but then canceling Paramount.
Well, I mean that's
Or
for like any of them. They probably don't have enough content to keep you going the
No.
entire year. So you might be like, okay, well, Last of
I
Us
want this for
is
this
out on
long.
HBO Max right now, so we'll pay for HBO Max for a couple months until that's over, and we'll cancel
Yeah.
it. Netflix
That's
was kind of big, like November, December. They had a bunch of stuff coming out. Like maybe people did that, and then they canceled Netflix and switched to HBO Max, and then they'll like I don't know. You might
genuinely
there's more
that's what makes the most
flexibility.
sense to me. Like to
exactly.
like pick and choose them for like a few months at a time and then just
Yeah.
like catch up on whatever shows like maybe like quarterly or something. I don't know. But
Mhm.
like yeah, it's getting to be a lot to like do all at once.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or a secret third option. A website
Piracy.
called
Oh my
fmovies.co.
We cannot
Install an
advocate
ad
for
blocker.
criminal behavior on a podcast.
Is this criminal?
Adam's a
Who's
lawyer.
to say? Who's to say?
I did see a lot of people today like being like, pirating's free. I was like, I know, but I'm afraid of it.
I always think back to like Gabe Newell, big video game guy,
Okay.
was talking about Steam is the big like PC gaming like store. And he talks about like how when Steam like first expanded into Russia, people are like, oh, that's such a bad idea. Like Russia, all the like no one's gonna buy stuff. They only pirate things. And his like response is like piracy is like a service problem, not like a people problem or like a money
Okay.
problem.
I
Because
think
it's
that's
like
totally fair, yeah.
the reason they were pirating things is because there was like no localization, no people were like no one was translating it. If there was, it was coming out a year later.
Sure.
So people just download it and play it themselves because there was just no option for them to buy it.
I mean, that makes sense to me,
yeah, they launched in Russia. It was super successful. And it's sort of the same thing here in a way where it's like there's no good way to watch things. And so pirating's so easy because you can find a streaming site that like you might be interested in like Mandalorian and Wednesday and I don't know, the new Star Trek show for some reason. And you can just search it up and you can watch all three very easily.
Without having to like do all the process.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of posts like that, like back in the heyday of Netflix when and Hulu of like you could get any TV show or movie that you really could conceivably want to watch on really two services. And then people didn't really pirate because it's all accessible. And then as it becomes less accessible and there's all these different services, it's like, well, why would I want to pay for all this? It's just not feasible anymore.
Exactly. But for legal reasons, piracy may be technically illegal. And also it's got some downsides too. You don't really want to create an account because I wouldn't do that. It's not really trustworthy.
You don't want
Um,
to count. You like want to make sure that you have a lot of like safety features on your
yeah.
computer. Like
Keep a
it's
loaded gun next to your computer at all times. If it makes a
but not
funny
touching the
noise,
Virus
computer because the
thing.
you
computer
see a
can grab
porn
it.
ad, boom, boom, boom.
Oh god.
I don't know. The other thing too is like a lot of these services, like Netflix, has curation. Maybe not the best curation, but curation and menus that work. And like no porn ads, no viruses.
Yeah.
It
It's
like
true.
you know what you get, and it works
They
99%
have
of
the
the time.
best display system of any streaming service, in my opinion.
But really, Disney has bought Miraculous, and so Netflix is getting rid of it. And so, is it that worth it to even have? No.
Did you see the Stranger Things kids are all getting paid like 4 million to be in the
Oh,
No.
next final
really?
season? Yeah.
I
Jesus.
heard honestly that was a okay, not about the Stranger Things kids, but that one of the reasons Netflix cancels shows after 2 seasons is because they have to pay you the actors a bunch more money for each successive season. So
Oh,
they've like calculated that you can get 2 seasons and it's enough of a show for people to watch, and then you don't have to pay your actors a bunch more if you make a season 3. I don't
that's
know how true that is, but
it makes
if
sense.
Stranger Things kids are getting progressively more and more amount of money, then
Yeah.
I'd
Good
imagine.
for them.
They should be. Like
I mean, it's their biggest show, so
for something like this is my thing with like child actors though. Like if they're committing to something that long that they decided to begin their commitment to while they were like underage absolute children,
mhm.
like it should be well worth their while
It is. I
because
mean, like the Harry Potter cast has talked
yeah,
about how difficult it was to pretty much have your childhood be these movies. Like that's you
absolutely.
don't go to school, you don't have a normal life. This is it.
You're also like known for that thing. And I know
Hmm.
that can happen to adult actors too, but like when you're a kid and this is all that people ever have known you for, like I know that that's a huge thing with a lot of like Disney Channel stars from like our childhood that they really struggled to make a name for themselves outside of that because that's all they were seen as.
Yeah, and if you want to go to like college and get a degree and
Right.
everything, like
Everyone's going
that's
to
going to
know
be
you.
challenging.
Yeah.
I
Because
was
So,
wrong on the
oh,
numbers for Stranger Things. So David Harbour and Winona Ryder are each going to make 9.5 million, not billion.
I was going to
Sorry.
say, oh,
billion. I mean, think.
Did you guys see? Sorry, side note.
Hmm.
Marjorie Taylor Greene was talking about like critical race theory, and it's like the government paid this school $5.1 billion. It's like no, they didn't.
literally no. Honey, you're dumb.
They've never spent that much on any education.
Absolutely.
We wish.
Yeah, like if you want to, go for it.
It's always
Anyway,
never mind. I was gonna say it's always like if only our government was as good as conservatives
yeah,
like to make fun of it for
Absolutely.
being. It's like we
We'd be a
wish.
cool country. Like,
exactly. The
ugh,
main four boy kids are each going to make 7 million, and all the rest of the supporting cast, like the older kids, are each
Mhm.
going to make 6 million.
wait, what about uh
Yeah,
Millie Bobby Brown?
She
And
has a separate deal that's undisclosed because of like her being Enola Holmes.
oh, sure, sure,
oh,
sure. Makes
she's got
sense.
a Netflix.
Those movies are good, by the way. Highly recommend. They're
I've not
quirky
seen
and
them.
not like other girls.
Did you hear the whole thing of there was a lawsuit about Vanilla Holmes?
No, tell me more.
Um, I am getting that secondhand, so details are gonna be spotty.
Tell me
But
all the tea
from
that
my
will be
understanding,
extremely factual.
the Arthur Conan Doyle estate, who
Yeah,
owns the rights to Sherlock Holmes, although no longer because it entered the public domain this year,
yeah.
were very litigious and would sue any property if they didn't feel like it was living up to the Sherlock Holmes character. And particularly, they had very strict standards on how Sherlock Holmes could behave. And one of this is he's got to be kind of a jerk and
Right.
aloof and
Yeah.
not great. And so in Enola Holmes, apparently he's nicer and more of a normal person. And
Especially in well, like okay, he's just kind of fine and like not really a whole person except for the fact that he's Henry Cavill and like super hot, but that's not really a personality trait. In the first movie, in the second movie, he's a dick, but then like nice at the end of
well,
it.
because I think it was about the first movie,
Okay,
so maybe they made him more of a jerk. in
That makes
movie
sense.
2 because of the lawsuit. I
Yeah.
don't know. Someone should
Um,
search that, and I don't care enough. But
no.
but I do know
That's
they can't
a
do this
rainy
anymore
Tuesday's
because it's
fact.
in the public domain, which is
I
fine.
will say that like the book Enola Holmes has been around for a while. So like it's interesting that they didn't sue over that if it was accurate to the book, which
Yeah,
I
I don't know.
read Enola Holmes, I think, but I don't remember it one bit. So couldn't tell you.
Also, what is with these popular British author estates being so litigious over their properties? Like the Tolkien estate's kind of known for
Money.
that too. But it's not even money. It's like you're not suing over you want to make money off this. Like you've already getting paid for it. You're suing because you don't
Yeah.
think it aligns with like the creative vision.
Like, are we
Shut
really
up.
gonna like are like I don't want to be mean to British people. I think they're
I have some
just
Irish
dandy.
and Scottish in my blood. I think I'd be mean to British people.
Okay, let's
And American.
yeah. I
Screw your tea.
all you ever really hear about them from an American perspective is like monarchy type stuff where they really love just being pure and like untouched, which is pretty much in line with that estate kind of thing, right? To say like no, we like have to be the exact way that we've been for years. I don't know, like it just doesn't shock me, I guess, um based on my closed-minded perspective about the British. um but what might shock you is Google.
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 We're looking at some of the most Googled Googles.
Real quick,
Yeah.
to go back a little bit.
Yeah.
Adam, you're a legal guy. And one of your conspiracies was whether Netflix leaked this or not.
Oh,
What are your
yes.
thoughts on the Roe v. Wade, whether it was really leaked or like
Oh, yeah.
who leaked it?
I don't know. Because I heard that they had like an investigation into that and they thought it was a conservative clerk, maybe, but they couldn't figure out who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might have been intentional. I
Well,
don't know. It's just a lot of speculation on that. Because it seems like
Yeah.
the leaked opinion wasn't really that much different from what ended up happening. So
Yeah.
like in comparison to the Netflix thing, it's not like they're really gaining anything by leaking that one early and then being
yeah.
like, oh, actually, we did preserve some rights because they didn't. And they were horrible. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. And it didn't make people less angry. So I don't know what they
Yeah.
could have thought to gain by it.
Yeah. I did hear the clerk theory like a lot though from both sides. Just people thinking that it was just a younger person who leaked it, which seems like odd to just be like, we don't know who, we don't know what side or what party, but they were young. Like it's
And I
just
think
And
a
that the
weird
official investigation is like, I don't know. We have no clue. Who knows?
Yeah.
must
It's like,
they must
what did you do?
Yeah.
Or it was one of the justices.
Yeah.
Mm,
I
that's
saw
the
some
real
fingers
tea.
being pointed at Alito
Yeah,
since like
that
it was
Alito
technically his
himself.
opinion.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is like his second one that's been leaked.
Yes, and
So,
he's done it before. Or one of his has been leaked before. Yeah.
yeah.
But it's the same thing, like, I don't know what you gain from that.
I think it was more to like pressure conservatives of like, okay, get ready for this.
Oh, like, this is how we're going to rule, so you can go get your women hating laws
Hats
already.
ready. God.
You know, that's wouldn't be that surprised.
It's just never made me want terms for justices more, you know? Like,
Yeah.
different man. Anyway, Google. So this is from Tech Era.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Seems like a legit
Shout out.
website. Shout out to them. So they have it sectioned in like just what were the most Googled questions. But they start it with like the words. So like most Googled questions starting with what, essentially. Um, so um, what do you guys think is the top Googled question that starts with what?
From 2022.
Yeah, that's
What
where these stats are from.
is voting
Mm,
for the
no,
What is Ukraine?
Oh, that's good. Actually, I
no.
was thinking
I'm
of
actually
like after
shocked that
Brexit, a
it's
ton of
on
people
there.
voted. What is Brexit? So I was trying to think of like big political happenings that
Big
people don't know
things that
about.
happened.
What
Um,
is Mr. Beast?
it's actually like a totally relatable question for me as an indecisive little Libra.
What's the best place to eat?
No, but so close.
What's the best show to watch?
Yeah, it's what to watch.
Oh, okay, okay.
Which is a
Hey
question I
Google,
ask
what to
myself all the
watch?
time. Yeah, what to watch? Not what do I watch, just what to watch. Um, okay. I think some like really fun things. I might not do like the what do you guys think for all of these, but they might just spark conversations. I like that one of them is what time is sunset? That's number 5. Um, I look at that a lot. Not on Google. I just have a little like weather app on
Yeah,
my.
I was gonna say I thought most
Yeah,
weather apps will tell you.
yeah, and I think that's nice. I think it's like, oh, the
Yeah.
day's ending. um, they ask about like what are the 5 love languages?
Okay, popular.
What are y'all's love languages?
Physical touch, quality time.
English. Oh.
Bold choice to
English
say
and
English.
surprisingly Portuguese. No.
English, not a very sexy language.
Yeah. I think mine's words of affirmation and quality time are my top 2. Physical touch is last. Don't touch me.
Stay away from me. We're social distancing.
6.
I'll go with words of affirmation as well.
I love words
Why
of
not?
affirmation. Yeah. Like it's just so nice. That being said, my partner is the exact opposite. Physical touch is his top and words of affirmation is his bottom.
Hmm.
And it's interesting and a hurdle. But it's I do like that as like a conversation starter, and that's something we talked about when we were like first dating, because it was like, hey, I need to be like reassured that you like don't hate me sometimes, like that's just a thing I need. And like if you're like, hey, like I was thinking of you today, that means a lot. Same with like the sending a meme and being like, thought you would like this kind of thing, adorable. Like those are all little dopamine rushes to my head. But like for him it might be like a like hand on his back if like he's nervous about something, or like just like a like hold your hand while you're driving or something. Maybe not while driving, that might be dangerous, but like at a stop sign, I don't know. But like yeah, like it's like learning how to like show each other in a way that people will listen to, is huge. I think I brought it up maybe a few episodes ago. I don't remember. There's apology languages.
Hmm.
Do you guys know about
Nope, never heard of
Like sorry, not sorry.
this? Exactly. That's how you apologize. Um,
that. Sorry, but I was right.
So sorry you were offended.
um, if you guys look up the apology language quiz, we can take it
What
real
quiz is
quick.
it?
It's short.
The apology language quiz. I feel like an old person. From the 5 love languages?
Yes, yeah. It's like the same type of vibe.
Let's go.
I'll probably cut out us taking it so we can
Yeah,
just
okay.
focus and be quiet and take
Okay.
it real
Yeah,
quick
yeah.
to
I don't
like
think
not
I
have
would
to
say
vamp.
any of these things.
Yeah,
Or
this
like
is
which is more likely.
Oh, it's more meaningful. Oh.
Yeah. I am done.
Yep, me too.
Nice.
Shocking result here. Given that I think I said literally word for word this.
I just feel like they're written by a robot. I am unhappy with how I've hurt you. I'm enormously disappointed in myself. I don't like the making it about yourself in
Yeah.
the apology. Just be like, hey, I'm
Mm-mm.
sorry. I realized what I did was wrong.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
We might all have the same.
We really might. Aw, guys. Do we like the same apologies?
But yeah, so many of those were like on your knees begging you to forgive me. I'm like, don't
That's kind
say
of
that.
honestly not dissimilar to the love language quiz though. Like a lot of those questions are very repetitive too, in the sense of it's like, what would like you like more? And it's like, hey, I want to spend time with you. Hey, I want to like get you this thing. Hey, I like let's hug.
It does
Like
feel
it's,
like just like the love languages quiz.
yeah.
If you just tell me what the 5 languages are, I can tell
You
you
can
which
probably
one
say
is
it.
mine. I don't need to take a quiz for it.
What can I do to make the situation right for you? Dash immediately.
Immediately. We need to fix this now.
Now.
That sounds vaguely corporate.
A little
Yeah.
threatening. Like, if we don't fix this right now. Oh my god. Could you imagine if your partner like hurt you in some way and then wrote you a professional email to apologize for it? I deeply regret my actions.
They have to do a
in today's
YouTube
meeting.
apology video of where
I'm
tears are running down
sorry.
their face.
You were offended.
Like
I
that
just
Twitch streamer who had porn of his
Oh my
other popular
god,
Twitch
that was
streamers.
wild.
It was
We
kind
gotta
of
talk about that.
I don't know how much it needs to be talked about, but it just kind of.
I don't know.
I feel
The
like it's
whole
just the
thing's pretty
latest of
messed up.
like. Yeah.
Whether or not we talk about it on or off the podcast, don't care.
Oh
I
yeah,
love
yeah,
his
yeah. Sure,
apology.
sure.
The I've just been seeing so much AI stuff lately, and it's like that's such a horrible excuse.
With like his partner crying in the background.
Yeah,
Like
that was wild too.
what
Out
are
of
you
focus
doing?
as well. Which,
Yeah, why are you there? Anyway, did you finish, Ryan?
yes, I did. I'm very confused on the results.
Oh, okay.
It's like you can like scroll like or swipe through to see the
Ah,
All right.
different things. Okay.
Results. So
What's
we have
everyone's number one?
well, I have
accept
3.
responsibility.
Mine is 35% is my top thing for planned change. Because I like it when people tell me like
Plan
not that
change is my
necessarily
number
that they're
2.
sorry. Hell yeah. Except responsibility is my number 2.
What are the percentages? I have 36, accept responsibility 32 for plan change.
I have 35 planned change, 31 accept responsibility.
Very close.
And then 27 is my next big one, which is make restitution. Which I guess is like somewhat similar. But then
make restitution is actually 4th for me, which
really
it does seem
it's
very
similar.
So I have expressing regret is number 3.
I have request forgiveness as number 4 and 0% expressing regret.
Wow.
Like I don't care if you're sorry. That's not helpful.
I kind of thought of expressing regret in the same vein of accepting responsibility, of like knowing that you should not have done this thing. Like it seems very similar to me. But
For me,
request forgiveness is dead last at 4%, which is even high. I don't know how much of that's going to be in the episode, but a lot of us taking this test was complaining about the questions begging for forgiveness. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
How much I dislike that. So.
Percent for me, and that's What about you, Ryan?
So at a tied 24%, I have plan change, expressing regret, and making restitution.
Fascinating. Okay, and then what are the last 2 as?
Accept responsibility at 15%, and request forgiveness at 13%.
Interesting. Okay, so you're more spread out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. That's interesting.
Cool.
Huh. So this is how we like to be apologized to. And how we like to apologize.
Mine is, I guess I don't care. Just don't phrase it like any of these.
Just don't be a robot.
Be a human.
I'd like to fix this situation immediately.
Immediately. That's the funniest one to me.
All these apologies are just so demanding too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I realized what I did was wrong. Please forgive me.
Absolutely. It is like big though, and that is something that like I think it makes a lot of sense in the same way that love languages makes a lot of sense, where it's like kind of a silly thing to think of, right? But like it does totally work. Like reading through the plan change thing. Yeah, if someone apologized to me with a plan, like a game plan for how they were gonna change, like that would work. I'd be like, yeah, we're good. Like you sound like you totally get it. Um, yeah. Um,
That's
I
what
don't
I think. There's 5 categories. I think they can be 2: accepting responsibility and fixing, and
uh-huh.
requesting forgiveness. And we were
Fair.
pretty much against requesting forgiveness and pro
Yeah.
accept responsibility and fix it.
Well, that was one of Ryan's big 3, right?
Yeah, I closed it out.
No, that's fair. um, fair.
Be like
That
a
was a little.
court transcript and read it back.
Mhm. If
Bring it
only
back.
this was recorded.
Damn shame. I thought we were just chatting. But okay, so there's only one more what question I want to read, and it's what does
inflation mean?
Ooh, no, it's just what does. That's the whole question.
Oh,
Oh.
I thought you were guessing after that.
Okay, so the next one is who.
Who is Mr. Beast?
Unfortunately, Mr. Beast did not make it.
Who is Joe Biden?
No, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all right now. There's
Vladimir Zelensky.
Oh,
there's not a specific person's name.
Oh.
In the top.
Oh,
5,
who is
10?
Guy from Show?
No.
Thought I had it there.
There's not
you haven't had like parents be like, "Oh, that guy, that guy
totally.
from that thing."
The one in the one thing with the one girl.
Yeah. Like,
who is
Mom,
president
sure.
/ elected official?
That is closer to the type of questions that's on there. Think what's like a big acquisition that happened last year?
Who's Elon Musk?
Not his name, but
Who is Twitter CEO?
Probably about him. Who is the richest person in the world? I'm sure that was Googled around the time that happened.
Who hasn't searched that?
Yeah. This seems a little skewed, even though tech era is not Google. One of the questions was who owns Google. I don't know if Google reported that, right?
Doesn't
the top
Google
question?
own themselves?
Yeah.
Or
Alphabet.
there's like Alphabet as their parent company, but it's just Google.
It is still Google, yeah.
They just made
I
it
wonder
because
if
they
people
made a bunch of
assume
other
that it's
stuff.
like a one guy kind of thing.
Just one dude.
Just one guy,
in
Mr.
his basement,
Google,
who actually answers every question.
Every question.
There's not an algorithm or anything. He's spitting
Just
out.
him. The top question for who is who am I?
Very introspective.
Yeah.
Also, who let the dogs out?
Woof, woof, woof.
This feels like it's like so not right, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Some of these questions. I'm gonna go to a different website.
I can interject.
Do it.
You reminded me with these Google searches. There is a very fun website called idiots.win, which is this. It's can you guess Google's top result for it gives you a start and lists the top like 5 or 6 searches for that, and then you're supposed to guess which one is the most searched.
Like Family Feud, but with Google searches?
Yes. So I will give you multiple choice style. So what is Google's top result for can a, and then this next word starts with an F. So that's the beginning, and here are your options. Can a fart kill you?
Yes.
Can a falling bullet kill you?
Yes.
Can a fetus get sick in the womb?
Yes.
Can a felon get a passport? And can a fish drown?
Yes.
So those are your 5 options. Which one is the top result?
Fish drown. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Fish drown makes so much sense, but I'm gonna go with fart kill you.
My second guess is felon.
Let me just actually play the game so I can feel fun. Okay. The fish drown was last. The felon gain a passport was number 1.
Interesting. Okay. Fascinating. I really thought the fish one was gonna be 1 or 2.
Yeah, that seems like a very Googleable question for
Absolutely,
people
right?
to ask.
Yeah.
All right. Killed by, and then this word starts with an O. So, killed by octopus, killed by oyster, killed by orangutan, killed by Odin, the Norse god, and killed by ostrich.
One of these things is not like the other. I'm going octopus because that's what I said before you said it.
Octopus? Okay. Ryan?
I'm gonna go with ostrich.
Ostrich. It was ostrich.
Look at you. Love that.
I like some of these. It's
All right.
does your F, and one of the options is does your face change when pregnant with a girl?
Yes, definitely. That sounds like a Southern Wives' Tale, easily.
All right. Are teeth naturally white?
Bones.
Are teeth whitening strips safe? Are teeth supposed to be white? Are teeth whitening pen safe? Same vein. And then are teeth bones?
Are teeth bones?
Are teeth whitening strip safe? And I'm looking that one up now.
It was in fact are teeth bones.
Sometimes going with your gut works, kids.
Are teeth whitening strips safe?
They're like, if you do them every day, no. But like, if you do them every now and then, it's not gonna hurt you any more than drinking coffee or eating a chip.
They've been around since the 1980s. The short answer is yes. Teeth whitening strips and whiten your teeth by a shade or two and can act as little as a few days.
Now I'm just gonna like randomly scroll through on Mondovo, and it has the most Googled questions globally every month. So I'm just gonna like randomly scroll through and we'll answer it. Okay, maybe we won't answer that one.
Abort mission.
That one was a little risque. How to remove a blackhead? What do you guys do for skincare?
I've heard like if you put tape on it,
oh my god,
remove blackheads.
That's so aggressive.
I don't really get much acne,
but it works.
So, and I don't think I've ever really had blackheads.
Okay.
So preventive measures: wash your face regularly.
Yeah, wash your face.
Have good genes.
Make like
choose your parents wisely. Yeah.
Pore cleansing masks. Those are great. The like ones that rip your skin up. Those are great. All right. Let's find another one. How tall is Tom Cruise?
Sure. Isn't he like 5'6"?
5'5".
5'5".
I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna make that Google search go up by 1.
I really want 5'5". 5'5"
Wait,
seems
final
too
answers?
short, though. I'm sticking with 5'6".
5'7".
Oh, he's my height.
He is a tall king. Isn't 5'7" like above the like average height for men though? No. Okay.
I think it's like average height for men is 5'7".
Alrighty.
Oh, really? I thought average was like 8.
Probably could be a bit higher, to be honest.
Maybe it is.
How to tell if a guy likes you?
He'll probably say it, and you probably won't reciprocate it because men are the worst. So, yeah. Because men really like to impose.
Yeah, there's been more men who told me that they liked me that I didn't like back than did. That being said, they generally either do just say it or they start acting really weird. You're like, you've acted one way for like years of our friendship, and then suddenly you're acting very different. And then they'll go, we really need to talk. And then you go, I don't have time. Okay, bye. And you never speak to them again alone. And it's a foolproof way to keep them there. And never ruin that friendship.
I don't know. It seems like it's a little ruined at that point if you're never going to talk to
No.
them.
If you just ignore it forever and bury it deep
Okay.
down.
I don't know about that, but sure.
Flawless advice. Why are cats afraid of cucumber?
Because they see
Sounds
something
like
we
it's kind
don't.
of a joke.
It does. I
They
like
can
to
sense
think
the hidden dangers.
that cucumbers used to be like really icky worms, like years ago. But then like one of them died and turned into a seed, and then the rest of them died like the dinosaurs. And then only plant version of them survived. And cats, no, they're like you used to be really icky. That's my theory.
I was
know,
gonna say
that-
maybe the smell.
I was trying to come up with something fun.
I have the heights for men. So internationally, around the world, the average height for men is 5'6".
Okay.
Oh, kind of low.
So
Makes
compared to
sense.
all men in the world, Tom Cruise is tall.
He's a tall king.
In the U.S., however, the average height is 5'9".
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So above all of us.
So Tom and I are
Did you
below
say
the
above
average
all
height.
of us?
No, all of our guesses.
Oh, I thought I was like, Adam, you know
I
you're
have been
like
lying
over
about
6
my
feet
height this
tall,
entire
right?
time.
Oh my god. Interesting.
Guess the shortest country.
Ooh, I don't know. Paraguay.
Wait, let me check.
So much of me wants to say Germany, but I feel like it's
What?
wrong. I don't know.
That's a bad guess.
Why Germany?
I just picture them being short there.
I think like Nordic people are known for being quite tall.
What about New Zealand? That's where the hobbits are.
That's a good point. New Zealand, because of all the hobbits.
Googling.
So sorry,
to check.
Germany, if you take.
I'm gonna say Paraguay, the Philippines, and
I
what's another
myself
country? Poland.
am a measly 5'1". It's nothing to be ashamed of. You can fit in small places. You can just walk down a sidewalk. Tree branches won't hit you. Your friends, they all have to duck and look like idiots. You just keep walking.
This has been a very statistical episode.
It has, yeah.
Google gives me differing results, but Philippines is one of them. I was actually thinking of Peru, but yes, Philippines is one of them. So, I don't know.
I landed on how to French kiss, which seems like a tame one compared to some of the other ones I've seen on here.
Go to France.
Go to France. Kiss a stranger.
Kiss a stranger.
Consensually. Ask them first. And they'll go, oui, oui.
And don't ask them in French if you don't speak it.
No.
Because that's a sure way to not get consent.
They'll say, no. Yeah, I was very confused by that as like a child who like did not have a lot of exposure to anything inappropriate for the longest time because I was a cute little Southern belle. And then when we moved to Pennsylvania, where everyone knew a lot more than I did, I was too afraid to ask. So it took me a while to figure out what that meant because a lot of people were like, yeah, they Frenched. And I was like, whoa, oh my God. But I didn't know what it meant. So for the longest time, because I didn't think I could Google it because I thought that would make me a bad person. And so I
straight to hell.
Thinking, I was like, what does Frenching mean? And I like went through all these theories, right? Obviously, there's like speaking French to one another. Doesn't seem that bad. My mom speaks French a lot. That can't be what they mean. There's French fries. What makes them French? I don't know, but maybe that's a connection. And I just remember going through all these thought processes, not figuring it out till a very embarrassing age. Yeah. That's my story with that. Um. Okay. Uh. How to hack Clash of Clans.
Um, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked.
Thank you.
You delete it.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Who's still playing Clash of Clans in the 2023, the year of our Lord? Why?
A lot of people, surprisingly.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's just
I will
it's
say
like 10 years old.
it's
Yeah,
question
I've not played it in over 10
391.
years.
I had a math teacher in high school who loved Clash of Clans, like too much. Like he talked about it every class, and I was like, stop. He had like his iPhone, and then he had an iPod Touch, and he had different things so that he could have different Clash of Clan accounts
Yep.
on each.
Different paces.
Yeah, yes.
Clash of Clans was when I learned about pay to win.
Mhm.
Because I started
What?
playing, I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. And then my brother just dropped like $60. And I was like, oh, never mind.
Yeah.
He spent way too much money on that game.
That's a lot of money for.
I think he
any
actually
game.
spent more than that. I don't know what the actual total was, so I don't want to say like a widely inflated number that's not real. But it was more than I would think necessary to ever spend on a mobile game.
What is social media?
That's a great question. An abomination that does not deserve to exist.
What is social media?
Yeah.
You know, our philosophers are still debating the subject now.
Plato himself.
Plato himself
Rolling
famously
in his grave.
asked, Socrates went up to someone, what is social media? And when they said
And then
Instagram,
they
he's like,
called
well,
him
why?
Yeah. And then they said blasphemer. But
And that's the true story of why
yeah,
Socrates was sentenced to
it's
death.
literally written in the Republic.
Yep.
Like it's not that big of a
Don't
deal.
Google it. Trust
Like
him.
book 5, I think. Book 5 is actually my favorite book of the Republic, in case anyone was wondering.
Little fun fact.
It's a good one. Not gonna lie. Socrates was a bit of a feminist himself. Alrighty. What time are we at in it?
I found from Google the top 10 Google searches.
Oh, let's hear them.
They're all like one or two words.
Oh.
And there are some
Oh,
people.
jeez. Why?
Oh, people? Elon Musk has to be on there, right?
He is not. And
Really?
Ryan's not on there either.
United States.
No.
Midterm elections.
Just the word help.
No.
Please. No,
Think
stop.
back to 2022.
2022. Ukraine.
That's on there. Number
Okay.
6.
Trump.
No.
Oh, good.
Oh, wait. One of you said election results.
I just said midterm elections.
Oh,
but...
okay. Election results was number 2.
Okay.
Makes sense. Blue wave. Red wave.
No.
Let's see.
I can tell you guys number 1.
Wait, what's number 1?
Yeah, hit us.
Wordle.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that
start of the
makes
year.
I just
And
leave the
then-
tab open.
3 through 5 is all famous people.
Zendaya.
No.
Really?
Who are some famous people that died last year?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man did not die.
Betty White. Didn't she die
Yeah,
at the
she
beginning of the year?
number 3, which surprises me because I felt like number 4 would be more important, but
the
Queen
Queen.
Elizabeth.
the Queen, yeah.
Yeah.
Queen is number 4. Betty White was more searched than the Queen, and then number 5 is
Oh.
Bob Saget.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would think the Queen would be higher than Betty White.
Betty
you know what?
White's
Betty
an
White,
international
national treasure.
treasure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 7 and 8 are Mega Millions and Powerball numbers.
Okay, makes
Oh,
sense.
that
Yeah.
makes sense too.
Yeah.
Number 9 is Anne Hesh. No idea who she is. And number 10 is Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh,
Ooh.
that one thing.
Yeah, that show.
Yeah. Awkward. You hate to see it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, wait.
Gas
Okay.
Prices Near Me was also popular.
I believe that. Wait, what time are we at, real quick?
Oh yeah, we're just over an hour.
Aha.
Sorry,
I'm gonna
I
do a quick
cut
question.
to maybe in the middle of content of looking into it, so the video might
That's
be
okay.
changed. But
That's fine. I'm gonna do
If
one
you could
quick
have a
question.
Google search for what rained on your parade.
What would show up? That's a great question.
What that would be, I have no idea.
is that our transition to?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, let's just talk about it. I was gonna do another thing, but like it might be too much of a conversation. Actually, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is true crime content ethical?
Yeah,
That's a
why not?
big conversation.
No, but like just like gut reaction.
Okay,
you
gut
know?
reaction,
I'd
yes.
say yeah.
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Can you do it unethically? Of course.
I think it's easier to do unethically than it is to do ethically. And I think it's more often done unethically than it's done ethically. But I do think it's totally possible to do ethically.
I think it's very easy to do it ethically. Just focus not on the victim.
Really?
Yeah, like
Focus
on the police
on the murderer.
investigation. Like a lot of the for the
Okay.
true crime ones that I listen to,
Yeah.
a lot of the times they're like they should have caught this guy sooner because the police were terrible and they didn't think a white guy was committing these crimes, or they didn't care because white people weren't being murdered. And so it's
Right.
very like, I don't know. So a lot of the criticism towards true crime, I guess I have just randomly selected good options when I looked up true crime
Right.
many years ago. But yeah, most of the criticism is laid in the hands of police, where it should be. So
Absolutely.
I don't know.
I also
I feel
think
like that's a way to do it.
Yeah, I think that if like families of victims say like, "Hey, don't do this," listen to them. I think like because they're the ones who are going to like still emotionally be impacted by that, and like that matters.
Yeah.
I also think like I've seen a lot that focus so much on like the killers or like the perpetrators of the crimes in general. And it's like almost to a point where it's like humanizing them. And it's like, yeah, they're humans and like that's acknowledged. But like at some point, some of them start to sound almost like excuses. And I think you need to be really careful about how you word stuff. Because it's like, I'm sorry, someone had a bad childhood. And that doesn't make you a murderer. Like that's not a valid reason to be a murderer. And I think some of them portray it as such, in my experience. But then some of them are real good about it.
I highly recommend the podcast, and that's why we drink.
It's a good one.
Best true crime podcast. They also do supernatural stuff if you're into that.
I don't like much true crime content. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I like that one a lot.
They're very good.
Yeah.
I think I just lucked out. I started listening originally to My Favorite Murder, and I thought they were fine, but then I was more entertained by it, and that's why we drink. So I just moved there, and that's the one I listen to.
Definitely a good one. Yeah. Alrighty. What are rating on y'all's parades?
I have one right off the bat, which is I ordered a textbook, and it's just never here. A more detailed version of this story is,
and that's it.
Usually I don't buy books from the campus bookstore because it's way too expensive, and you can get a lot of textbooks way cheaper from other retailers. Side note, highly recommend the website bigwords.com because it will compare textbook prices across all available retailers.
That's a delight.
You can just find cheapest, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But anyways, for whatever reason, it actually was cheapest for me to rent this book from my university bookstore. So I was like, perfect. That makes everything easy. I can just pick it up when I get there.
Yeah.
School starts. I order 2 books. Book 1, ready right away. I go and grab it because school's starting.
Mhm.
And book 2 is not yet ready. And I'm like, that's fine. I don't need it yet. It's like a supplement to book 1. So, it's less important. And then week 2, still not ready. And now we're in week 3, and it's still not ready. And now I'm going to need this book. And I'm like, this is a suspiciously long amount of time. When I ordered this, I guess this is week 3 of school. So probably week 4 or 5 from when I actually ordered it.
Sure.
So, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Maybe
Where they hide in it.
you should have this book ready for me. Or if something went wrong, like sometimes when you rent specifically from university bookstores, they're like, sorry, we don't have, like I rent used is what I did. So like maybe they ran out of used copies, but then,
tell
me and I'll get a new one.
Yeah.
Or like I'll rent a new version. And so it might be more expensive, but whatever. And it's just been perpetually not available. So great. I'm going into the bookstore tomorrow to be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
I ordered this a long time ago. I've heard nothing.
Oh man.
Dang.
Absolutely.
That's annoying.
Yeah. Bookstores, like sometimes it's like just miscommunication, and they just like, because it's I had a couple of friends who worked at the one at our undergrad, and like they were like, the organization here is non-existent.
Yeah, I'm wondering because this supplement wasn't ready when I picked up the first book, that maybe I picked up the first book and they're like, cool, order fulfilled.
Right.
And
yeah, that could be it.
So that's my guess, but who's to say?
Yeah. Whole time.
Or they're actually having trouble. But that seems less likely.
Yeah. What about you, Ryan?
I don't know. OBS.
Yeah.
I was annoyed about that.
That's fair.
It crashed my computer twice.
Absolutely.
I've never done that before.
Yeah.
I had to re-download it.
Fair. That was very confusing. Yeah. I don't know, tech man. Whole time.
Yeah.
Let's see. We had a total blizzard in Maryland. By that I mean maybe
couldn't drive
half a centimeter of snow that immediately melted on the pavement, but like it was all over the grass.
Just havoc.
I don't know how
saw
people
your
got
snap
around.
and then looked outside and then looked at the temperature and saw it was like 9 degrees and there was so much snow.
I texted you. I texted you guys a little picture of the snow.
Yep.
How I was snowed in and so afraid for my life. How was I going to get groceries? I hadn't prepared at all. And Ryan just straight up didn't respond because I think he was just so blown away by how much snow.
I was like, wow.
In shock and awe that there weren't even words to describe it.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd respond if it would get to you due to the snow. So.
Well, that's the point, right? Is it's like maybe you did actually respond, but because of my cell service being so bad due to this horrible blizzard that we experienced in Maryland. Yeah, that was kind of bad. All gone by the next day, as all true blizzards are. I can't think of anything else. This has been a very non-week. I was a little sleepy this week. Sometimes.
Man, I'm sleepy every week. When am I not tired?
Which is wild because you're like the most on schedule sleeping person I know.
Tell my body that because
grass really isn't greener.
Not registering.
Google some stuff.
Yeah.
I earlier in the episode thought of a fun little quirky way to sign off, but I've already forgotten it. So have a sunny Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.